Intangible Defined, an empirical research study. Module 4, the enabler for a Vaccine FDA certification. Intangible Defined, Part 1. In search of the triggering device, the intangible.
Module 4, Defining Intangible. In the previous Module 3, I did make a mention, scrap IAS 38, Intangible Assets, as it's nothing but an oxymoron. The reason why I said so is that what I shall explain now as to the pivotal position intangible holds for our corporate as well as the universe, in fact. In today's circumstance, when we see the vaccine is being marketed, pushed up in every corner of the world, the speed in which it is being done is not necessarily to overcome the COVID-19 problems. Is in terms of your corporate sales, profits, and naturally the growth. Nothing wrong about it, but no need that the significance of what exactly we have to do in terms of the customer confidence is very important, and that is where I would like to pitch my intangible being defined. Well, I would like to make a mention. I said it is Cream Academy, but I have changed to Cream Ratings Academy. The ratings of Cream, that is corporate governance, risk management, earnings, accounting quality, and management quality. That is Cream. The ratings of which is what is intangible will be able to provide. That's why it's a very crucial module. I would like you to have a look at it in this preview, and the participants certainly can learn how it is more useful in terms of a rating system. So it's a very significant module in my opinion. In my college days, I had a very good professor. We used to call him Lambda Ramakrishnan. He was from Ramanujam Institute of Mathematics, Giants there were. He put a question: if x square equal to 4, what is x? Many of us said 2, and some of them said plus or minus 2, and that's all about it. He said all of us were wrong, not correct. He said x square equal to 4, x is a root of 4, which is identically equal to plus or minus 2. That 3 dashes identically equal to. If it is not being mentioned, then you are incorrect. Looking later, much later, is a very interesting equation. How can it be plus or minus 2 identically equal to? Much later, I must say, when I was going through the quotes of the day of Guruji Shri Shri, it said, truth always looks into the opposite values. Then also it could be truth. It was a very good observation. If you connect these two, there is plus as well as the minus, and they are identical. The truth to be figured out, you got to, is sort of a paradox. It's not logical. Truth is not logical. Truth is a paradox, which takes into account the opposite values. When you apply the same to this x is identically equal to plus or minus 2. We have two different dreams of domains that we are looking into. One is the known WYSIWYG identifiable domain of logic, and the other one is the domain of intangible. So the metaphysical concept is being brought and equated in this equation is a very important development to know more about the intangible. When I don't blame the auditors, they are only one wing of the corporate history. When they say that materiality is very important, the OECD, this thing on anti-corruption, they did mention. We are not concerned, literally they said, we are not concerned about we are concerned about the materiality. It is the management who have to look into the other aspects of corruption, whether it is there or not there. In the OECD put of it on anti-corruption conference. So be it. We are not here at this point of time concerned only about auditors' duties and whether they are bulldog or this thing. We are not concerned about it. We are here concerned about the management. It is in the interest of the management to find out and ferret out whether corruption is happening or not happening. Who is the person who is looking into it? If the policy is being set, as in the case of, you look at the COSO framework, there are 17 principles. The one that tops the list is integrity and ethical values. If you look at the Companies Act, Indian Companies Act, the first one on independent directors, it says integrity and probity. It's all good. These are all, if you go to IASB and IFRS, this thing, they are disclosures of the corporate disclosures. They're also talking about the accountability aspect of it. The intentions are there, but the means of figuring out whether it is going to make it possible to know whether the integrity and probity and ethical values are being followed or not followed. That's why the intangible is a very important aspect of management, which is lacking at this point of time. It is not there. Other whatever that we talked about, integrity, etc. It escapes attention. And the accountability factor is not there at all. When you have the sky equal to 4 and identically equal to plus or minus 2, we don't go deep into that. We peripheral example is that is x square equal to 4, x is equal to 2. That's all about it. That is object. You look at the object and stop with that. When I said earlier also, about 170 process blocks, 12 or in CREAM report, 12 are quantitative. The balance 158 are qualitative elements of management. And we do not measure the qualitative elements of management. It evades our measurement actually. That is for a simple reason. We talk about it. Every day we look at that as a sort of a flat organization structure that we have. The flat organization structure has come about from ordinary small company, a cash book, and it goes on adding to a spreadsheet column. This thing. You have marketing coming, you have production coming, you have buying coming, one by one, columnar put. The transactions are being put through. It ends with that. We are not in our balance sheet and P&L account. We tally the trial balance and is fully transactional. We do not have anything beyond the transactions, which goes to the 158 qualitative elements of management. When we stop with that, we have a problem of identifying the accountability. Once it becomes a matter, that matter which is a mass, which is being created, and from the raw material side to manufacturing, to product, to sale, to push out the whole thing. and we keep track of the object. Who are the people who are involved in that? We do not keep a track. Peripherally, yes, but intently we don't. With the result, there are so many promises that are being given, so many duties that have been allocated, which we find it impossible to track. With the result, the compliance system is at discount. You are not able to comply with various laws and regulations, various policies which are being put through. That is where the cream comes into. When I was looking at for cream ratings, I did look at the Google on various ratings companies. Fitch Ratings was there, and Chrysler rating was there. The Chrysler rating said the pioneer in getting the rating system for India. Very good. Even though I don't want to go into the details of inside job on various rating agencies, they deal with the 12. Out of the 170, the 12 elements with the subsystems being analyzed is just 12 quantitative elements represented in cream as E. That is the only one that they are doing. But 158 they don't. That's why cream ratings are exceptional. And so exceptional, it's not only a pioneer for India, it's a pioneer for the whole world. That apart, it is impossible because of the system that had been put through in terms of the intangible. Intangible is a singular one, not intangibles. When it is being put through, you will find in subsequent modules how it helps the ratings to any level that you would like to take it, with amazing benchmarking and metrics being brought in. So when we talk of the intangible, that intangible that we here look into is X square is identically equal to plus or minus 2 is opposite values. In opposite values, one time you are Madoff, other time you are Mahatma Gandhi. We have a pendulum going up and down, each individual. When we look at that intangible as what? As the triggering device.
Intangible Defined, Part 2. The intangible is liberated matter.
Let us check on the matter, where the triggering device is. Mass and energy have an equivalence. Energy is a liberated matter. Matter is energy waiting to happen. If you go by the first law, that is where we put into P&L and balance sheet. They're all a liberated matter, where energy has been already put through. Otherwise, it doesn't reach that level. Whereas matter waiting to happen is the energy is waiting to happen for the energy to put through. That is where we have the NPAs and all that. Not only NPAs, as you said, the matter is like an IPR is a matter. If you got a patent and declared as a patented IPR, we have code of conduct, any number of such of HACCP or TQM or FDA certification, which is very important. When we are talking about the vaccine, we are looking for a FDA certification. Whether we announce it beforehand without complying with various different number of steps to be undertaken and made possibly public to get the public confidence, which is very important, not to rush through. You can rush through the individual steps to make it, but it has to be complied with. with the speed in which you can work for instead of 8 hours, or work for about 20 hours and see that it is being pushed through quick. You can always do that. But the compliance aspects are very, very important. So when it is being liberated, that energy being put through in about 1,000 steps, which are required as the management quality, then it is being pushed to rule number 1, law number 1. It becomes a matter. The vaccine is a matter of quality and substance. That is what we are trying to arrive at, which is a common factor for each and every product that we produce. Then where is the delay? The delay comes if you look into the third law. If you look into the square equal to 4x is identically equal to plus or minus 2, that minus 2 is the third law. In our mind, with all the capabilities, we are constrained by the universe, three-dimensional universe. We do not go to, it's very impossible to even find out what happens in before the Big Bang. It's not possible. But we can do the assumption, and that is where when before the Big Bang or after the Big Bang, the matter and antimatter, when they collide, form a pure energy. That matter which we see, and they also said at the time of Big Bang, antimatter in equal quantity was there after the Big Bang. But the Large Hadron Collider in CERN is searching for that antimatter, where all that had disappeared. But the matter is there. We are not able to even measure. In fact, Carl Sagan says, take a handful of sand grains in your hand and multiply with as many handfuls of each and every beach all over the planet Earth. That is the quantification for the matter which is in the universe. At the same time, if you look at neuroscientists talking about the human brain, small cubic centimeter, not cubic centimeter of your vortex, with so much of activities of neurons and synapses. If you multiply and find out the exact numbers, the quantity, there's not enough mathematics to find out what the quantity would be. And it says is more than a single brain has got more number in terms of numbers than all these handful of grains counted with each and every beach all over the world. That is a single brain, brain of a cubic centimeter of brain, but it's not even full brain, only so. That is our capability. When we say antimatter is being missed, if this is a capability of human brains, which is pulsating energy available only with the human brains, and which is the energy factor, then one can very decisively say, thanks to the LHC, Large Hadron Collider, running around and searching for a antimatter, it is embedded in each and every human brain of the antimatter. When antimatter collides with matter, it forms a pure energy. That is the third law. We keep the second law as not utilizing it. When the second law is that matter is waiting to happen, energy waiting to happen, we keep on waiting. Code of conduct where you don't check. The delay in FDA approval is a very important, because it's a relevant factor as on today. If vaccine has to get into that first law as matter, as liberated matter, energy being put through. Energy being put through in various hundreds and thousands of steps ought to be taken care. And if it is being recorded, it has to be recorded. That is the purpose of, then only you can promote it to the first law. Then you can definitely call it as a matter where energy has been liberated. Matter of quality and substance is the vaccine that you produce. It does not require your FDA approval, but it requires every step being undertaken and being revealed by each and every vaccine biotechnology experts. They have to come out with that steps what have been taken. It's very simple. If you look at that energy and matter which has got equivalence, it's just simple. What is that that is required? That is antimatter. The antimatter has to collide with the matter. That is it is not the materiality as the auditors say, but the management have to look into it. There is a second law. We don't allow the matter to remain as matter, waiting for the energy to happen. It won't happen unless we take the steps. That is the triggering device. That is the effort to be put by individuals who have been entrusted with a specific step being undertaken. If they don't do that, we will have a problem. So that is the one which is the antimatter, which is effort, which is the intangible. That is the intangible which pushes, triggering devices that pushes the second law to the first law of matter being a quality substance being created. And that is what we are going to explore. And how it is being defined. What are the steps being taken with these simple 3 steps: matter and energy and antimatter or intangible. We will find out from the next module as to the measurement of intangible. The first law, first principle in this all the modules together. What gets measured gets managed. If you look at the second law, if you look at the unwanted or unwarranted comments on a particular vaccine being talked about by everybody who may or may not know the subject matter, is because of the second law, where the effort or the intangible is not being put through as to the various steps. There are a very number of steps. If you look at the HACCP or FDA approval, if you look at the TQM, each and every has got a big systems, and this thing, and that's why CREAM ratings are very important. Corporate governance, risk management, earnings, accounting quality and management quality, these are all very important factors for bringing the vaccine to be declared as a matter of substance where energy has been put through. So the CREAM ratings is going to be the very pertinent. You can't do for this vaccine. Can you go to Fisher ratings and Kreisel ratings? You won't get it. You've got to do the CREAM ratings. Corporate governance is different. It's all qualitative elements management. That's why intangible plays a very significant part which we shall get through it one by one module after the other. Next module will be measurement of intangible. Thank you.
Module 4, Intangible Defined. The takeaways. What you will learn. 1. Search for intangible leads to finding the spot wherefrom the intangible emerges. 2. Opposite values refined to acknowledge the existence of contradictory elements that are identical in different planes. 3. Tracing the intangible. By studying the opposite values, intangible is reached, clarifying the known and unknown contraindicators. 4. An effort transforms mass into energy. The effort is the force when applied, satisfies Newton's second law of motion, F equals ma. You will find out what is intangible. Skills you will gain. 1. By defining the intangible as the one and the only source of pulsating energy, arriving at the constant enables to derive a fixed value in a specified mathematical context. 2. The constant provides a standard calibration to measure every action as well as inaction in relation to each and every task of a company. 3. The intangible makes it possible the science of metaphysics with a logical structure, like that of the well-established mathematical and natural sciences. About this specialization, the empirical research of the intangible, a metaphysical concept, is verifiable by mathematical evidence, removes the existing definitions with no clear exposition of concept of metaphysics, such as 1. Incapable of being perceived by the senses, 2. Incapable of being realized or defined, and 3. Incorporeal, intangible as defined, like 0 being found as a number. Intangible is proved as a constant, an energy force, with a fixed value in a specified mathematical context. It opens up the accomplishment of an infinite succession of finite purposes by controlling each goal. Course assessment. Intangible Defined is an enabler for a Vaccine FDA certification. How is it so? Write a report on one such third-party assurance certifications. As for the finance ratings, find out what is lacking. Time required for this module 4, 2 hours. Cream Ratings Academy, Module 4, Intangible Defined, an empirical research study, based on the book. Different concepts you can look for. 1. The new global brand name, corporate citizen. 2. Blueprint for $1 trillion Indian agriculture economy. 3. Project Elite for knowledge transfer. 4. WEF report, measuring stakeholder capitalism, a step towards corporate civilization. 5. GSDP $1.5 trillion 2024, a template for GDP-GNH combo. 6. Cream Academy, an introduction. 7. Module 1, Causality. 8. Module 2, Who Are You? 9. Module 3, The Root Cause of Economic Collapse. And now, 10. Module 4, Intangible Defined, an empirical research study. Please see description for details of presentations and availability of book for sale.